Hi, it's Dr. Donna, and today I want to talk about how a spiritual awakening can be one of the most confusing, troubling, upsetting experiences before it gives you clarity and makes you feel better about the path of your life journey. Now, what I mean by this is just think about it. You're going on about your life. You know that changes are coming. You don't know how they're coming. You just figure, okay, things will change and I will adapt. But all of a sudden, all of these emotions come on strong. And then there are people who will leave your life out of nowhere, and there are people who will enter your life out of nowhere. And so there's all of these emotions and confusion and stress going on, and it's like, what's happening? I knew things would be one way, and now it's something different. And a lot of times when we're going through a spiritual awakening, it's usually after an event such as an illness, a divorce, a betrayal, a death of a loved one, some big change. So you have this change happening, and then now you have yourself questioning everything about who you are, your life, and the people around you, and nothing is making sense anymore, and you're trying to figure out what's next. How do I get through this? How am I going to handle this? So much is happening at once to where it is emotionally overwhelming, and it can even create more confusion. It can create depression. It can create anger. I remember getting angry during one of my spiritual awakenings. It can make you just not like people, like your life, like yourself. So many things can happen. So a spiritual awakening isn't about an aha moment. Everything starts to make sense. First, it's very messy, and there's a lot of grieving that take place, but there's a run of emotions with that grief. You can have the 5 stages of grief, or you could just have anger or questioning or doubt, or trying to bargain or reconcile, or do I want a new life or do I want my old life? Do I want to stay with my partner? Do I want to leave my partner? Do I want to stay with my job, quit my job? Do you see all the confusion that comes? And you're asking yourself 20 million questions. So the first thing to do is, when you're going through a spiritual awakening, is just sit with what you're feeling and then journal it out and just kind of sit with your emotions and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? And if you can feel a particular emotion, write about it. And if you know any, meditation techniques or EFT or something, do something to help you clear up the energy so that things aren't so foggy or confusing for you. And so it's taking one emotion at a time, but you may have several emotions trying to come on, and just kind of slow it down. You don't need answers today. You don't need clarity today. It will come. Trust me, it will come together. But don't feel the need to pressure it. Just let it happen when it's supposed to happen. A lot of times we're addicted to wanting answers and wanting to know, all the steps and make the right decisions, because nobody wants to make a mistake or make the wrong decision. But when you're going through a big event like a spiritual awakening, you can't force anything, and you can't make all of the right decisions. You can't worry about making the wrong decisions. You just know that you're taking it step by step to make a decision for the moment, and you can always refine it later. Don't feel like you're locked into anything, because you're not. And you have to allow the emotions to run, and they are going to run. But try to slow them down by saying, why do I have this feeling? Like sometimes we just push away anger. And I always say that anger is a very important emotion, because under anger is usually sadness of some kind, or some regret or resentment. So don't push away anger and see it as just negative or toxic or violent. Ask yourself, why do I feel it? Ask yourself, why do you feel sad? Ask yourself, why do you feel betrayed? Why do you feel hurt? Does this change scare you? Are you excited about it but nervous about how it will unfold? Just sit with your emotions more. We don't do enough of that as humans. A lot of times we're addicted to wanting to feel good and escape pain. And I would say the number one thing about a spiritual awakening is to feel every moment of it. And if it's overwhelming, seek professional support. Don't try to do it alone, but don't run from the experience, because it's happening, because your spirit guides, your creator are trying to get you to the next level in life. And often we want to go to the next level and let it be smooth, but it's never really smooth. We have to get rid of this ideal that life should be easy or smooth and always aligned. It takes work to get it there. It takes work for alignment. It takes work for the growth. It takes patience. It takes understanding. It takes time to get the clarity that you're seeking. So if you're going through this big life-changing event, you might think, why me? And there may not be a good answer to the why me, why now. There was no answer when I lost my son. Like, why me? People lose their kids. Unfortunately, people lose people they love. Unfortunately, all of us are going to lose at least 5 people that we love to death. So keep that in mind. But instead of saying why me, say, how do I deal with this? How do I work with what's going on? How do I find my way to navigate through this? Especially if you're going through a loss or a betrayal or a divorce or something significant, an illness. You know, there's no answer to why these things happen. They do happen though. And so leave the why alone and just try to figure out how you're going to get through it. A lot of times people want answers before they can move forward. Like, why is this happening? Because they think it'll make them feel better or to give them clarity or they'll be able to handle this situation better. And that is not necessarily true. So don't seek that out. Just seek out how to get through the moment. Take it day by day. Take it hour by hour. I tell people, hey, take it minute by minute. Just try to slow down the emotions so that you can navigate better. Because when you go through a spiritual awakening, it's not fun at first. It takes a while before it becomes better. You're going to feel the loneliness also, along with different emotions. You're going to feel like, even if you're in a room full of people you know and you love and they love you, you're going to feel alone for a moment because you're the one having this experience. And so you're going to run these emotions, and if you feel like you're being triggered by them, do seek some type of support, a coach, a therapist, someone out there to help you through it. But don't try to do it alone because you can spiral. And these are big, these awakenings. I've had 4 so far. And, you know, when we have gone through trauma growing up, sometimes that awakening is finally facing that pain, that trauma that we try to bury or move on from so that we can manage to have somewhat of a decent life despite what we've gone through. So these are things trying to come up to the surface for you to face, and they can be hard. And it could be like, why now? And there's usually no good answer other than now is just the time. You know, a lot of things don't have explanation. I notice in my work, people want the meaning, the explanation, and I say you got to walk the path, and maybe you'll get some answers along the way, but just walk the path. And sometimes people don't want to hear that, but you can't get the answers first. You got to work through it, navigate through it, walk the path, and then some things might make sense to you. And don't let that stress you out or upset you or anger you. It's just part of the process. It's just how it goes. But you can get through it with the proper support, the proper awareness. You can survive going through a spiritual awakening. So I hope this helps.